What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we have the privilege to test drive and review a 2022 BMW M4 competition that is sitting looking very pretty right behind me. And I just want to give a great thank you and shout out to Highline Auto Group in Westwood, Massachusetts for allowing me to review this vehicle. Thank you guys so much. I will put their link in the description just to check out all their other inventory. They have a lot, and you can also check out this BMW M4 competition if you're in the market for one. Today we're basically going to dive into this car and get into it. This car is a lot. This car is beautiful. It has definitely had some controversy over the last couple years with the new front nose, so that's something we're going to look into. We're going to look into the motor, we're going to look in the interior, we're going to look in the exterior. We're going to go through this entire car in and out as much as we can with the time that we have today. So without further ado guys, we're going to drive it a little bit and we're going to see essentially, is this car worth the price tag that it has? Okay guys, so starting with the back is my favorite place to start as always. We're gonna start as he's revving an Aston Martin right now. That sounds so sick. Pretty cool. So anyways, focusing on the BMW, I love the way they have the new taillights. I think the old taillights were just a little too boxy, and I love that they made the new ones kind of like slimmer. They're doing that in a lot of newer cars. You have reverse light, blinker light here, and I love how it starts straight, slopes down, all the way back up top. I absolutely love that. I think it makes it look a little bit sleeker. I think that's the greatest part about a lot of these newer cars, especially the BMWs. They're really slimming out the headlights and the taillights to make it look cleaner. And I love the look of the back better than the old generation because it looks so much wider, and I think that helps when you're trying to make a newer performance car. It just is so much, like, it has a better stance, and I think that looks amazing. It definitely pops off when you got your little side canards here on the rear and into your huge massive gloss black stock rear diffuser. Obviously you have your M competition exhaust, which sounds absolutely amazing as you heard from earlier in the video, and then it flows into your gloss black little lip spoiler, which obviously you can go with a carbon fiber option if you wish to, but you don't have to. I do think the murdered out black in this entire car just looks absolutely, it's just killer on the road. I mean, this will turn heads with the murdered out black, and that's why I think if you wanted to go carbon on the mirrors and all the accessories, you can, but I love the gloss black look as stock. That is just, I'm happy that BMW didn't go too crazy on carbon because it fits perfectly. You have your huge 20-inch M competition wheels with your big brakes in the rear and in the front. I believe these are offset, so I think it's 20s in the rear and 19s in the front. But the murdered out black, these massive tires, just gives the car a perfect, especially with the concave that you have on the wheels, just gives the car an absolutely perfect stance. Obviously with the murdered out black, it just looks stunning. Into your gloss black side skirts, which obviously you need a little bit of side skirts on a performance car because it's going to give it that little bit of edge, a little bit of wideness to it, a little bit of aggression. And then you have your M mirrors, which are not the carbon fiber ones that you usually see, but the gloss black obviously is accented throughout the vehicle, so this looks beautiful as well. You have your M4 competition badging on the side, absolutely stunning. Then you go into your hood, which your hood has these little like scoops in it, which the old ones didn't really have much of a scoop. I think they had one right here, but it didn't really like, it was too much. It was more of a muscle car like, well, this is more European style, which really flows beautiful because you have these center lines here that come down to a little concave where the BMW logo sits. And then it goes into your most controversial part of the car that we've seen on the M3s and M4s, which is your front grille. It is starting to grow on me lately. It definitely works with your side vents that you have here because it makes the car feel more wider, more aggressive, and it's definitely something to get used to. But trust me when I say this, in person, it does look great. Now, saying that, I do still like the older BMW M front grills and front ends a little bit better, but this one is still good. They definitely refreshed it and it doesn't look that bad. I give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Definitely not terrible, but not my favorite. Then we're gonna move into the beautiful BMW LED Xenon Halo Eye headlights, which are skinnier and slimmer than the older ones. The older ones were once again more thicker, more wider. These are, and more boxed off, while these are more circled off, which keeps the same kind of look in the rear, which I love. And it basically makes it look a little bit sleeker, so it's not focusing more on headlights, you're focusing more on the body of the vehicle. And that, by the way, is something that every car manufacturer is starting to do, and it's exciting me because it looks so much sleeker. But I will say, overall, the body of this vehicle just looks absolutely amazing. It looks beautiful. I give it about an 8 out of 10. The other one I gave about a 7.5 out of 10. So this one overall looks a little bit better than the older models. I think it is so much cleaner, so much sleeker, and much more aggressive, honestly. It's a little bit wider on the sides and the rear quarter panels, which definitely gives it that performance flair this car has been itching to need the last couple of years. And the car is obviously much faster at 503 horsepower with the 8-speed DCT. I mean, it's amazing. A little bit faster than the other ones. Those were rated at about 400 horsepower. This one's faster. And it's a little bit bigger, I would say, but it's a little bit sleeker. I definitely like the murdered out style. It's definitely something to look at when you're looking for this car. And yeah, I mean, let's just dive right into the interior because the interior is a whole different story. And the more you look at it in person, the more it kind of grows on you. You know how that kind of happens with a lot of stuff. The more you look at things, the more it grows on you. And this one, it's kind of the more I look at it, the more it grows on me. You don't always buy a car for the reason of the way it looks. You also buy it for the performance, and that's exactly what this kind of car is. It's meant for the performance, not always meant for the looks. And I'm not knocking the old generation because the old generation is still definitely beautiful, but this gives it that almost like an exotic car kind of feel in just a sports car. So it's very, very nice to have that kind of a feel on a lot of these newer cars. But moving on to the interior, you have your M competition steering wheel with your giant carbon fiber paddles, which feel absolutely amazing. You have your M modes here. Obviously, the whole interior is built out in carbon fiber. So you got all your carbon fiber here in the center console. You have your carbon cover for your cup holder console. You have your M competition seats, which are really comfortable, really plush. I love the M badging, which I believe these illuminate at night. That's just a great integration. And you have your LED overhead lighting, which beautiful design, I must say. That's amazing. You have your 10-inch Apple CarPlay and Android Auto infotainment system built in. It's your BMW infotainment system. And the car makes the same chimes, so at least you know BMW hasn't changed that much. Makes the same chimes. The system also puts in your gauges, as in your horsepower and torque gauge and your boost gauge. This car comes equipped with, obviously, as per usual, the Harman Kardon system. You have your door handles here, which are sleek and clean. Door locks here, obviously all your windows here. You have your seat memory here, which is great. And you also, which I think is really cool about this car, is you have an integrated speaker right here. So usually they put it on the door down here, but because this is probably a coupe, they probably built it a little bit differently. They have it right here on the side of the door, right behind the door handle. I think that's a really smooth design. It looks different. At first, I thought it was a piece of fabric, and then now I'm realizing it's a speaker. So that is beautiful. But you have pretty much soft touch leather everywhere you look. Hard plastic is pretty much nowhere to be found on this. Everything on the corners and the sides are all soft touch. Your only plastic would probably be right here, which is the little side door compartments. You have your trunk latch here. You have your latch for your hood right there. You hit it twice. These are all your headlight options, whether you want auto, off, or you want to turn this down. This obviously turns down the brightness on your entire interior. The only thing I wish BMW did is I wish they would integrate a flat bottom steering wheel on some of these M cars. Like it's a beautiful steering wheel, don't get me wrong, but it would be really, really nice if this was at least just the same setup, just a flat bottom. I think that's what BMW needs. They need a flat bottom. One of the only cars these days to still hold a shifter. I love it. They still have a shifter. You have all your modes. You have your exhaust modes. Obviously, we'll dive into that a little bit later. Press to start. You have your auto assist on. That is auto start and stop, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's a great option to have for the people that do love it. Parking assist, that's to toggle your rear camera, and that is traction control. You have your home media set up here, and let's actually test out what the compartments are like in this car. I don't know how to open this. Oh, that's how you open it. So it looks like you can open it from the side, but you have to actually press the middle, and you actually have pretty good space in your center console. That's actually not bad. It's better than mine, to be honest. And then you have your glove box, which is pretty small, which is fine, but get a good enough space. You have rear seats in this because it is a coupe. You do still get rear seats, which is nice. The M competition seats. It looks like you have some decent legroom for a comp seat. That's not bad. In the rear, you have heated seats, 2 USB ports, and you have your vents. So obviously, it's always good to have that. Oh, and one thing I just noticed, they have Alcantara from the top of the headrests all the way down into here. I just noticed that. That is really pretty. And you can see your lumbar support here, which kind of bulges out a little bit, and you can push that in if need be. But it's super plush and comfortable. And obviously this is your one-piece competition seat, which makes it just so pretty. I am just in love with one-piece competition seats. And they integrate it in the RS3s and the M2 comps. It looks absolutely stunning. Then you have all soft touch Nappa leather all the way throughout the rest of the seat. You have some perforated leather throughout the middles here. You have your extension bar right here for the seats. You can push it out or push it in as like basically a leg rest. Obviously Nappa leather on your steering wheel. You also have grips on the back that concave in. And then you have your digital display M4 screen. The car sounds pretty good, I must say. For a stock exhaust, this thing sounds absolutely amazing. You do have a heated steering wheel function right here on the bottom of the steering wheel. So that's great. So you have a heated steering wheel, everything you need. You have your climate control all right here as well. So you got your heated seats, which I'm actually gonna turn on because it's pretty chilly outside. So you go to home and you have your menu. You have media, communication, navigation, car and apps, toggle different apps. Here you have your M menu, driving information, settings, car profiles, and all that stuff. Hit the M menu. This is where you can do configurations. You have your heads-up display that you can set up. You can set up your instrument panel, which is your, and there's a Ferrari right there. Look at that. So this is where you have your entire gauge panel that you can set up. You can do separate configurations for the M1 and the M2, which I think is really cool. And basically it's your own separate driving mode that you use for those little paddles. So you hit M1 or hit M2, it goes into this mode. By customizing your chassis, transmission, engine, steering, braking, you can do comfort in certain ones. And you can pretty much make this car a track monster, essentially is what they're trying to tell us. We're gonna swap to the head strap. We're gonna start driving this car. Yeah, this car is pretty exciting, and I'm like really excited to drive it because a lot of reviews said this car is absolutely amazing. All right, and here we go. Let's see how this thing drives. Oh, the hood's still open. That's on me. That means I just didn't, I didn't close the latch all the way. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's got some torque. Wow, that's very nice. Got a lot of power. All right, so first thing off the bat is it's got a lot more torque than I thought it was gonna have. The paddles feel really nice, big paddles, quick. I love the digital screen, the digital display. When they started integrating those in cars, it just looks so pretty. I love that display. So what I want to do is I want to put it in sequential, and I believe to do that, I think I just engage that, and you tap it. Yeah, okay, just like any other BMW. Okay, that was 4th gear. Okay. I know the area well. I just gotta I'm trying to find like an area where I can go this way to turn around, so that way I'm not driving forever. Because I don't want to drive too many miles in the thing. But yeah, right off the bat, the car is comfortable. It feels good. The steering wheel is super thick. I mean, one of the thickest steering wheels I think I've grabbed onto in my life. That is amazing. So I'm guessing that opens the valves? Yeah, and that closes them. So when you click the button, that opens them when it highlights green. and you can hear it gets louder as you do it. Well, pretty cool. Oh, it does the wave when you do this. Yeah, I heard of that. It does the wave. It's not doing it now, but of course. What were you saying, by the way, before? Oh, is that what you were trying to do? Or are you trying to?
See that Toyota thing, right? Where guys see?
Oh, what in the heck? What is going? And I'm glad I entered that area. Oh, this is great. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. What are they doing? Are they stuck in the thing? Oh my God. Whew. Okay. Go like that. I'm still in first gear, which is good. I love the sound of M's. They sound so good. The B58s sound amazing too, but the M's just sound so good. The 503 horsepower is just, for an inline 6, like I always say on the channel, guys, BMWs are where it's at. But I always say, if you're gonna buy a BMW, you gotta buy an M. Well, folks, you don't see that every day. I've never... There's bags in the back? What in the heck? I don't even know. I don't see the cops. I can do a little. Wow. Okay, I'll tell you, the new M4s, and I've driven an older M4 before. I drove a 16 competition, and that was pretty. But these are faster. Like, these are really, really fast. I mean, they feel so good. It's responsive. There's no turbo lag. Even just cruising in fifth like this. And then what we'll do now, since we drove in sequential a little bit, is I don't know how to engage it back in drive. I'm guessing you just... Got it. Okay. So now we'll just cruise and drive. Just normally. Feels good. I definitely need more sound though. So if I ever bought this car, I would need more power. I would need more sound out of it. But it feels really good. Car is really fast. I love the red accents around the paddles, and then the M1 and M2 button for your custom mode options, drive mode options. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, you have your huge 10-inch screen right in front of you, which I like it here better than when they used to have it here, because I didn't like when they had it here. I like it that it's kind of like in front of you now. Their new dual climate is much better. It's not down here anymore with the radio menu, so now it's kind of it's integrated in its own separate console. It's big and it weighs 3,800 pounds, but the 8-speed DCT gives it exactly what you need in that 3.0 that you have. I mean, that 500 horsepower that you have really gives it everything you need. Here we go. Oh, look at that classic Beamer. The Z3, you don't ever see those around. They're worth a lot of money nowadays. It's very jolty. I'd say it's more jolty than the 2016s, the older generation. But the joltiness is what I like. That's what the aggressive DCT gives you, especially when you're in sport, which I think is great. So what I think that they do now in these cars, they don't give you the Sport Plus mode like you usually have. I think now your Sport Plus is the M1 or M2 mode, which is your toggle modes. So you have Sport, which you use the paddles in Sport, and then you have M1 or M2, which you toggle into for your Sport Plus modes. And then you have your valves for the exhaust as well that you can open and close. So I think that's the difference between the newer generation to the older generation, is I think that's what they integrated instead of just doing like comfort, like normal comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Now I think it's just normal comfort and Sport, and then you have your Sport Plus modes right here. That's what I think. That's what I've noticed. I don't see a Sport Plus mode. When you go into modes, only have road and sport. And sport. Oh, so I was in road the whole time. Oh, we weren't even in sport. All right, we're gonna go in sport and do one little, before we pull back into the dealer, we're gonna do one little pull with the sport. But that was pretty much that entire drive. Even in normal mode, we pretty much used sequential and we drove it in drive. So we got to see, so now I get to see a little bit of what it's like. You have your heads up display now, which I didn't see before, so that's good. Now you can kind of see what it feels like momentarily. Oh, it's even more jolty now. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Here we go. So we'll do one last pull. Am I gonna turn that off? Oh Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I didn't get it first because it was in third gear, but that was nice. All right, there we go. We got one in. Just enough to get back into the parking lot. There we go. All right. Well, that was exhilarating. This car is amazing. Look at my dirty car. I was just in New Hampshire, that's why. I haven't had a chance to clean it. Haven't had the chance to clean it. But wow, okay. That's powerful in sport. Holy cow. Well, as my head is all red from the POV strap, of course, that was exhilarating. Obviously we didn't get to do too much driving, but we got to do enough to kind of know that this car is a beast. I mean, it is so smooth. It's extremely jolty, but at the same time, extremely smooth. Absolutely amazing car. I recommend, if you're in the market, I recommend going out and test driving it, because I always say BMWs are the best, and they really are. I know you guys know me. I love Volkswagens, but let me tell you, this BMW M's are just next level. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful, and they drive so well. They have great interiors, they have great exteriors. The motors are like the best in the business when it comes to German cars, at least. And they're just so powerful, and they have so much potential even with the stock power that you have. So I recommend that if you're in the market, come test drive this car, see it for yourself how amazing it is. Make sure to check the link in the description, by the way, for Highline Auto Group. They have this car listed for sale currently in Westwood, Massachusetts. I will put the link in the description. Make sure to go check them out, see their other cars in their inventory as well. I just want to say a huge thank you to Highline Auto Group for allowing me to review and drive this car. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Make sure to hit the link description to follow Real Speed Instagram and all other social media accounts for updates on cars, anything happening in the channel. And as always, guys, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it so you get notifications whenever Real Speed posts videos. And we will be back very, very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Peace out.